Hello, fine folks. This is Freedom Fighter, and I'm your host of Goldilocks Global Banking News. Today is Friday, August the 16th, 2024. I had my morning discussions with Goldilocks, and there are some wow, amazing news articles that Goldilocks has shared today. You don't want to miss this information. You're going to see where the dots are truly connecting globally, also within the United States. And then lastly, we're going to touch on Iraq connecting their system as well. But we're going to see the interconnecting of the electronic payment systems. We're going to see new laws that are being implemented in regards to the quantum financial system. And we're going to see these new payment systems connecting also in rural areas so that there are no issues with people who live in remote rural areas to be able to connect to the quantum financial system. So we're going to see the interlinking that is now being implemented. Let's jump right into it. For the past few months, Goldilocks says, we've been talking about the banking system working on their amendments for the Foreign Board of Trade guidelines. So when you think of trade, think of currency trade, think of goods and services being traded. These new guidelines come under the heading of the Commodities Futures Trade Commission on the Federal Register. What is going to back all of the currencies that we hold? What's going to back the dinar? What's going to back the dong? What's going to back the bolivar? What's going to back every single currency around the world? The commodities of that country for which the currencies are being held. The commodities, so your golds and silvers, coppers, precious metals of a nation will back that currency. So when you hear, when you see the new rules that Goldilocks is always sharing and what's needed to come out of the Commodities Future Trade Commission, you must realize how important this global agency, how important they are. The Commodities Future Trade Commission has reached the final rule. It is a rule that allows those registered with the Foreign Board of Trade to utilize their electronic payment system in foreign currency trade and other assets. I'm going to repeat that again. The Commodities Future Trade Commission has reached a final rule. It is a rule that allows those registered with the Foreign Board of Trade to utilize their electronic payment system in foreign currency trade and other assets. Speaking of electronic payment system, what did Goldilocks share with us not too long ago, about a week or so ago, that Iraq did? They licensed their electronic payment system, went live with their electronic payment system. So here we have, here in the United States, the synchronizing of the electronic payment system as well. Also, this amendment introduces the utilization of a broker. A broker IB requires registration with the Commodities Future Trade Commission. An introducing broker is an individual or organization that solicits or accepts orders to buy or sell futures contracts, commodity options, retail off exchange, FOREX contracts, or swaps, but does not accept money or other assets from customers to support these orders. A final rule is considered the implementation stage, and on September the 16th, 2024, these new amendments go into effect. And Goldilocks shares directly from the Federal Register. The link, we'll share it in the description, and you can take a look at it for yourself, where this final rule is going into effect on September the 16th, where the electronic payment systems under the governing body of the Commodities Future Trade Commission, which ultimately foreign currency exchanges are under, will be registered as a law on September the 16th. So here we have the connecting of the electronic payment system that will go into effect in September on the 16th. New guidelines, new rules, regulations going live, law going live, implemented, registered, and actually documented, reported with the Federal Register to make it effective. The Federal Register heading: establishing the digital opportunity data collection. So here we have data collection. Think of the quantum financial system and trillions of data that is within the quantum financial system. So here we have a data collection, establishing data collection, and this will go into also the rural areas that may not have the ease of internet access. Yes, you have banks that are in rural areas that may not have the best internet connection and the services. Here we have the rule that will make sure that those banks are included. This is a rule, Goldilocks shares, by the Federal Communications Commission. And communications, folks, is data collected from banks and businesses. In this document, the Federal Communications Commission, it actually codifies the broadband data collection. What are banks and businesses, no matter where they are, in rural areas or not? Broadband data collection. And the broadband data collection, the challenge process deadline, as required by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, delegates authority to the offices and bureaus to conduct audits and clarifies that providers, meaning the broadband providers, must submit detailed data to seek restoration for those locations or areas, possibly like rural areas, on the national broadband map. So this is similar when you think about it, how someone, have you ever gone into a new area, you put an address in your navigation and the address doesn't come up, although because it might be a very rural, dense location or a brand new development area. It just hasn't been registered on the broadband database. Here we have a rule to make sure that the data collection, for example, could be of banks in these areas. Make sure the areas that it's collected, the data is collected. The National Broadband Map is a secure geographic information system platform that provides information about internet services available at specific locations across the United States. This is so that no banks, nobody is left behind in the new financial system, no matter where they are located. The map is a collaboration between the Federal Communications Commission and the internet service providers, who report where they offer internet services. The FCC then reviews the data and publishes it on the new National Board Broadband Map. So here we have, folks, the interconnecting, leaving nobody and no area behind to assure the data is collected. If it's at banks, if it's at businesses. Just imagine you go to exchange and you live in a rural area where your bank might be off the beaten path, if you will. And you go in exchange, all of a sudden there's no internet service. You can't access your bank account. You're having issues. This is to help assure those issues are eliminated. This new rule goes into effect on September the 24th, 2024. It will help to expand broadband and modernize use of the new digital asset-based trading system. So what Goldilocks is saying, this helps to modernize the use of the quantum financial system, the new quantum financial system in rural areas to help collect data and run local businesses. This new rule or law will affect our infrastructure and business communications across every sector of the market. Then Goldilocks shares with the Federal Register, showing it goes into effect, the new law, on September the 24th. Then Goldilocks shares the term value-added tax, refers to a consumption tax on goods and services. Folks, what this is basically showing where there is a new tax on goods and services traded around the world. We are currently beginning to not only add value tax to goods and services, Goldilocks says, but we are in the process of moving into placing new prices based on the shipment of goods and services added to the value and asset itself. So the assets that are being traded around the world, there will be a tax as well. Goldilocks shares we are saving a lot of money moving into a new digital-based trading system, a new quantum financial system. And the prices on goods and services will change accordingly in some areas. These changes will be reflected on the market, and people's personal portfolios may shift to meet these new prices onboarding into the new digital market. This is a part of the credit valuation adjustments, which Goldilocks knows and shares is the revaluation of assets, revaluation of assets around the globe. This part of the credit valuation adjustments we have been talking about for some time in this room. Some assets will rise due to these new costs and others will lower. Just know everything is about to move into a real value across all sectors of the market. What are real values? Real prices on currencies. What are real values? Real prices on precious metals. What are real values? Real prices on real estate. What are real values? Real prices on digital assets, cryptocurrencies, everything. Goldilocks continues. Stocks and bonds give value to one another. When one or the other is out of sync, we have a breakdown on the overall market values. We are in process of setting up our market to correlate with one another, real values based on new determinations of these values inside a new digital asset-based trading system. So this is inside the quantum financial system. Everything's being tokenized, Goldilocks says. This means that all assets are becoming digital, with underlying support such as gold and other commodities. As we reach the final pieces of the quantum financial system being activated, new price pressures will come on to the market with assets whose credit values will be adjusted accordingly. In other words, where new prices and values on our assets will be adjusted accordingly. What are assets? Precious metals. What are assets? Digital cryptocurrencies. What are assets? Real estate. What are assets? Paper currencies, ladies and gentlemen, are also assets. Last but not least, on Iraq, Goldilocks shared yesterday, Iraq Law 56 of 2024. What this is telling us, folks, let me just let you know what this means. Iraq has snuck in a new law to their benefit related to foreign currency without having to go back before Parliament to go through a political vote. They have avoided the need to go before Parliament to vote on something related to foreign currency exchange by utilizing an old law from 2004. Here we go. Iraq is in process of implementing their own digital banking system. They are moving to an electronic system that allows them to move money within their own international banking system. Remember, we just talked about here in the United States with the Commodities Future Trade Commission, the interlinking of the payment system, electronic payment system. Here we have Iraq doing the same thing. Iraq is in process of implementing their own digital banking system. They are moving to an electronic system that allows them to move money within their own international banking system. Inside this law, meaning Iraq law number 56 of 2004, there is another law in there called Article 28. What does Article 28 do? It allows the CBI to buy and sell foreign currency. I'm going to repeat that. Article 28, that is embedded into the Iraq Law 56 of 2004. Inside Law Article 28, it allows the CBI to buy and sell foreign currency. It can now be done without conditions, facilitating finance and international trade. It can now be done without conditions, facilitating finance and international trade. The link is in the description that proves this directly from Iraq as well. This is a law interconnected in an old law that they have now implemented so that they don't have to go through the red tape process of a vote through Parliament. This is similar how here in the United States with our Congress, if they want a certain law passed without going before the House or the Senate, they can actually, for example, pork barrel projects, if you haven't heard of them, where they can slip in a law that becomes regulated and becomes implemented without having to go back before Congress. They can just slide it in to a previous law that's already been passed. Therefore, that particular rule or law becomes implemented. Iraq is doing the same thing with Article 28 from a previous passed law in 2004. They're sliding this in. This is the equivalent of a pork barrel project, but now allows Iraq, the CBI specifically, to buy and sell foreign currency without any conditions. This is amazing and major. Many probably, now I'm sure many have missed. This is where you have, folks, this is the confirmation of the benefit of having Goldilocks to provide this information. None other than Goldilocks, because Goldilocks knows the laws. Remember, Goldilocks is a collective of many agencies around the world. This particular law in Iraq, you're not going to hear from anyone else but Goldilocks. When Goldilocks' connections directly with the CBI can find this information. So here we have a law, an old law from 2004, that Goldilocks is able to confirm Iraq now, without any conditions, can buy and sell foreign currency by utilizing a law within a law from 2004 and reactivating it. Folks, be blessed, be well, know that this is major. Please, to help continue this channel to reach as many people far and wide, like, share, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss your daily facts and updates on the RVGCR, brought to you by Goldilocks Global Banking News. I'm your host, Freedom Fighter. We love you. Be well. Show some unconditional love. We hope you receive the same. Bon voyage. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR, brought to you by Freedom Fighter.